Broadcasting live from the True Crime Today studios to the world. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
I'm shocked by this headline, but I'm wondering if there's a little bit more to it. The Kissimmee Police Department announced that no charges will be filed against Jennifer Soto, the mother of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, whose tragic death shocked the community earlier this year. Despite an intensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding Madeline's disappearance and death, authorities have determined that Jennifer Soto has not committed any criminal acts related to the case. I'm assuming they're talking about the murder case.
How?
There's two cases here. There's murder and there's the child pornography case. And the trafficking. Madeline Soto was first reported missing on February 26 to 24 after she failed to show up at Hunters Creek Middle School, where she was a student. The alarm was raised by school officials, leading to a search that eventually ended in the grim discovery of her body in rural Osceola County. During the investigation, Jennifer Soto was interviewed by detectives from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. In a recorded interview conducted late in February, on February 27th, Soto explained that she did not see Madeline on the morning of her disappearance, and she assumed her daughter was preparing for school while she attended a doctor's appointment. Really? Because she told the TV station something completely fucking different.
That's the part I'm not understanding. She was lying. She wasn't truthful. I think you're 100% right. They presented her with evidence that they have against her, and she went, well, I've got information you're going to want. And they went, okay, let's talk.
Her story is not adding up at all. I mean, this is just basic facts of this case. Soto's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, was supposed to drop Madeline off at school, but he failed to do so. The failure would later lead to the chilling revelations. Sterns was arrested on February 28th, initially charged with sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material after investigators discovered graphic photos and videos on his phone believed to involve Madeline. As the investigation progressed, further evidence emerged, leading to Sterns being charged with first-degree murder on April 24th. One of the critical pieces of evidence against Sterns was traffic camera footage showing him driving with what appeared to be Madeline's limp body in the front seat of his car on the morning that she was reported missing. Authorities believe Madeline was already dead at this time, and possibly for several hours. In her interview with detectives, Jennifer Soto provided details about the relationship between Sterns and his daughter, which investigators found concerning. When asked about the sleeping arrangements in their household, Soto stated, sometimes when I really need a good night's sleep, I'll send them upstairs. Them, by the way. But when a lot of times, we will sleep together in the king-size bed, all three of us. Or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and share a bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing.
Gross.
Despite these unsettling details, authorities have concluded that there is no evidence to suggest Jennifer Soto was involved in her daughter's death. Sources have confirmed that Jennifer Soto has done nothing criminal so far, so she will not face charges, reported Channel 9's Shannon Butler. Madeline's body was found after a week-long search, bringing the heartbreaking conclusion to the case that has raised many questions about the events leading up to her death. As of now, Sterns remains the only person charged in connection with Madeline's death. State Attorney's Office has stated its intention to seek the death penalty against him. However, the investigation is not over. I think this is the key part of the story. During a press conference in April, Homicide Unit Chief Will J. This is in April, though. Emphasized, this is not over. There's an ongoing investigation to uncover more evidence. Authorities have suggested that others who were close to Madeline remain under scrutiny with the possibility of additional charges if new evidence comes to light. Kissimmee Police Chief Betty Holland also commented on the ongoing investigation, saying everyone that was close to Madeline is considered a suspect until we have proven otherwise.
Well, it sounds like they have, quote unquote, proven otherwise about mom for some reason. This was all over the news this morning. And part of me wonders if that wasn't put out just to let people kind of put their guard down.
Yeah.
And then something big's coming.
I wonder. I do wonder if they're not pressing charges because she opened up a Pandora's box for them to go after a lot of people, maybe. And they're talking about charges related to the murder case, which I could buy that she didn't know that she was going to be murdered. I really could buy that part.
Yeah. But I don't you feel like she is somehow culpable for some of the sexual abuse that was taking place?
Whether she was aware of it or not, yes. And my gut, my opinion, my conjecture on it is that I don't know how she wouldn't have known about it. I don't know, unless you just are really putting your head in the sand and are that dense and dumb. I mean, you're encouraging you should never, ever, there's no reason ever, no matter how much you trust the person, no matter how much you love the person, that in any stretch of the imagination, I would ever think it's okay for someone who's dating someone or even married to go, why don't you go sleep with my 13-year-old daughter tonight?
Yeah.
You're just going to watch Netflix and chill, right? Oh, wait, maybe I said that. You're just going to watch Disney Channel and fall asleep, right? I cannot contemplate this as being a thing ever.
You know, some people just live in a different reality. You know, maybe to her, this was completely normal, that he convinced her that I don't know. It hurts my head to even say any of this. I mean,
the only thing I can think of is, you know, maybe, I don't know. This is just my own speculation. If Jen Soto was brought up, and I can't imagine she was brought up in a very great place. But if she was brought up in an environment where this was normal, maybe she doesn't know any better. Maybe she was that girl at one point in her life where she was sleeping in the bed of a man that's not her father, and it was completely normal, and this is just how it works. And maybe nothing happened to her. And it's like, well, this is just, they're just being affectionate. Like, that's not fucking normal. Healthy adults, if you're a healthy adult and your partner said to you, I want you to go do that, go sleep with my 13-year-old daughter, your answer is no. Because it looks fucking horrible, it's creepy, it's weird, it's uncomfortable, and my God, people can make accusations about that very easily, even if nothing happens. But you wouldn't want to put yourself in that situation to begin with. There should be nothing in your fucking mind that would ever make you think, oh, yeah, let me just go cuddle up here with this child that's not my own, who's 13 or 12 or whatever, and this is totally normal and healthy. It's not. Not at fucking all.
No, it's not. It's not like, you know, I climbed into my mom's bed when it was storming and I was scared. Not a one-off. This was going on for years. You have a developing teenager who, let's not forget, she wanted to run away and go live in the woods.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the reason she needed to die was she was going to finally speak out against this fuckstick.
Of course it was. She was going to tell, and he knew it. And he killed her. And whether mom knew all of those, or she's had her head in the sand and just really completely ignored this shit, which maybe she did, which just speaks to her idiocracy right there. But I don't know. I mean, this is kind of shocking. And I don't think being an idiot should necessarily get you off the fucking hook. If you are enabling these things to happen, whether you are bright enough to realize it or not.
Well, she had an obligation to protect that child. That child was hers. She was not an adult, and she had an obligation, and she allowed this man in her home. As a parent, you have an obligation to protect your child. Yeah. And at the end of the day, she didn't.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. As a parent, if you do that and something like that happens to your child, you are fucking liable, and you should be held responsible. I don't fucking care if you're too dumb to realize it. Then you should go away because you're a danger to fucking society and other people because you're that fucking stupid.
What else is going on in this home that she wasn't seeing? Or wasn't seeing with air quotes?
Wasn't seeing, or I'm just going to put my hand in, I don't want to know about it. You guys go watch your shows and that. I could just totally see her just doing that and just being so in her own fucking world. Which I question then, you know, what the fuck is going on with her? I mean, there's probably some sort of fucking disorder there that's allowing this to perpetuate for fucking years. Mm-hmm. where she can just have that plausible deniability.
Obviously there's something going on there that she would allow such abuse. Maybe she herself was being abused too. And in that regard, I feel terrible for her. But again, you've had a child. That child is your responsibility. If you don't want the child, adoption is always an option.
I don't fucking care if she was being abused, quite honestly, because her responsibility is to that kid. Yeah. And you need to get your shit together enough to protect that child. I know abuse can be confusing as shit and very difficult and nearly impossible sometimes to break away from. Your obligation is to that child. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't fucking care. You failed your child and she's dead and you should have consequences.
You're in the thick of a true crime saga, every detail sinking in, and then, wham, a commercial about something you couldn't care less about. It's like being served a microwaved dinner at a 5-star restaurant. But it doesn't have to be this way. Go for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get uninterrupted, ad-free episodes, extended interviews that dig even deeper into the muck, and early access so you can brag to your friends. It's like ordering the secret menu at a crime buffet. So, search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, and savor every twisted detail without interruption.